Well, look, in terms of the ECHR and that ridiculous intervention we saw from a European court on the government's Rwanda policy, the Conservative government need to get their asses into gear. How anyone can think that's acceptable for a foreign judge in a European court effectively to put the kibosh on a government policy announced back in April 2022, still absolutely no sign of that happening, I do not know. I mean, it's absolutely balmy. But we've had lots of tough talk, haven't we? We've had, to be fair, some decent Conservative MPs like Jonathan Gullis urging the government basically to ignore the ECHR, but unfortunately the government bottled it. And much talk now about whether the government are actually going to take a firm line on this, whether this could be a centrepiece of their next general election campaign. Of course, by then it could be too late. Reform UK, as I showed yesterday, in the Red Wall now, Red Wall constituencies polling at about 9% firmly as the third party. So if the Tories want to win back Leaver support, they need to get the hell on with it. But this was an interesting article from Katie Balls in The Spectator about can a Stop the Boats campaign save the Tories, pointing out, unsurprisingly, a lot of Red Wall MPs getting very jittery about the government's failure to stop this crisis. She herself, Katie Balls, actually highlights there Jonathan Gullis, his recent push to try and ignore these European court rulings. But interestingly, she reports there that many Tories say the next election should be fought on a pledge to pull out of Strasbourg's jurisdiction. One government advisor arguing there, we could say get the boats done and run a stop the boats election, pointing out, of course, to what happened in Australia where they did actually stop the boats. Now, talk's fine, all the rest of it, and I can see many of your comments coming already. Michael, it's too late, we don't believe them, and all the rest of it. But actually, what's interesting is when you look at the issue specifically of the ECHR, and of course we have this bizarre situation where the Home Secretary, the person basically in charge of stopping the boats in Suella Braverman, has said we should leave ECHR, but the government not allowing her to do that. When you look at public opinion on this, and you won't see this in mainstream media, of course, but you see here there's big support for leaving the ECHR. Redfield and Wilton show more Brits in favour of leaving than remaining. The Telegraph there had a survey that was done that actually shows you solidly there Tory voters in favour of leaving ECHR, 43% to 22%. So could this be a centrepiece of the next general election Conservative campaign? Will the Conservatives finally say enough is enough, it's time to leave ECHR? Well, I'm certainly not going to hold my breath, but it's clear that some MPs are pushing for this. And of course they have Reform UK, who have openly said this is their policy at leaving the ECHR. They, of course, pledging to stand against every Conservative MP, which I'm sure is helping to focus some minds. But let me know what you make of that in the comments below, guys. If Rishi Sunak and the Conservatives came out and said, we will lead the UK out of ECHR, would that win back your support or not? Do let me know in the comments below. Whack this video a quick thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. And of course, as ever, cheers for watching.